Good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Ignite. Today we're going to talk about the wild crypto markets, what goes on with Ethereum and Bitcoin and the recent kind of bull market we seem to have entered. And then we're also going to talk about some tricky things that happen in the market, aka known as scams and blackmail, and why Ignite is here to protect the world against this nonsense, and even some instances where we've been affected by it. So let's dig right into it. Let's talk about the market. So the markets have been super exciting if you've been following. First, we had a crash, and now we seem to be having a bit of a boom. Why does it happen, and how can you spot the bottom, and how can you spot the top? Now, we've said before that it's always come down to volume in the markets. Now, we're going to make more instructional videos on TA and how you can really pinpoint with precision the bottoms and the tops. But for now, what you really need to know is as volume picks up and you're in a bull market, that means that bull market will continue. What you need to watch out for is when things go flat. We've been noticing that 5 days of flat market conditions, like we call it range trading in between the resistance, usually would indicate that there's going to be a shift. Now, where is that shift going to be next? We can't necessarily say, but have your stop losses in place because often that shifts downwards. So that does not mean that we feel that the market's going to go downwards. I personally believe that we're in the middle of a bull run. But keep that in mind that if things go stable for the next 5 days, that there will probably be a change in the market conditions, either for the elevation of the bull run or to possibly the detriment of the markets. We just have to keep an eye on it because it's at some critical levels at the moment. Anyway, the second point we really wanted to discuss was some blackmail and scams and different things that are going on. So there was this ICO, what was it called?
SaveDroid.
SaveDroid, yes. So
SaveDroid.
SaveDroid was very interesting. So what we had with SaveDroid was a wildly successful ICO that raised something like, what, 40
million euros.
40 million euros.
50 million USD, yeah.
So quite a substantial sum of money. And boom, pictures of the guy on the beach somewhere in Egypt with a beer, hanging out saying, peace, we're gone, spending your money on, whatever you do in Egypt. Now, this is very shocking to us because it seemed like it was a well-designed and like very well thought out project, very public project with the founders being very public as well. And I had my doubts on whether or not it was really a scam. Like I said, maybe this is a marketing ploy. And it was interesting because it ended up being a total.
Well, it was the CEO. So it was a 24-hour exit scam. The CEO comes out the next day and says, "Oh, it was all a campaign for my new ICO advisory service." I don't know. Part of me still thinks maybe change of heart. Maybe
Egypt wasn't so great.
Maybe he didn't like the threat of hitmen. I don't know. Yeah. But that's me being a cynic. So, but
it was, if it was
given
marketing,
the benefit of the doubt, even if it was some sort of PR stunt, some sort of campaign for an ICO advisory service. I mean, honestly, what was this guy on? I mean, so I'm not. Okay, part of me goes, I want to say it's clever. Actually, it's not. It's the most basic thing you could have done. It's not clever at all. You and I joked about it.
I think
we joked about it.
I said, how funny would it be if it was a PR stunt? But, it does get him attention, So how does an ICO, kind of like make itself known? But I would argue that he was already known because he already raised 40 million.
He's finished his race. He's finished his race. But
he's got his customers.
But unfortunately now, if you delve into their Telegram group a little bit, if you look at the comments he's receiving on YouTube, there's a lot of backlash. There were people who went all in on this project, who were, I don't want to be too over dramatic about it, but who were probably close to throwing themselves off the end of the pier when they thought they'd lost all their money. That's a dangerous game to play.
That is a dangerous game.
I don't like that approach.
Could you imagine though? Imagine you did this kind of funny PR stunt, and then you hear in the news the next day that some dude jumped off the side of his balcony because he lost all his money on an exit scam. That type of shit happens.
Of course it could. Of course it could.
It's a dangerous game to play.
I don't know. So the CEO he was saying that. Yes, it was a campaign for our ICO advisory service. We're trying to send a message to the industry. I'm not actually sure what the message was. I'm not sure who it was aimed at. We all know ICO scams exist. Ignite has helped actually recover funds in one or two instances where these exit scams have happened. I don't know what the message is and who you're sending it to.
Yeah, everyone knows.
You could have lost your money, but you didn't, so it's all okay. I mean, people know that.
Yeah, no. But don't worry, he's going to make a spreadsheet. They'll make it all better for everyone.
Oh, there's going to be a free,
free spreadsheet.
Free
so
checklist.
that's what makes it all okay. Yeah.
Free checklist.
Anyway, well, that's our...
So guys, we need Ignite ratings. This is why we build this kind of product. Not for the guys who reckon they're having a laugh and it's all a campaign, but these things do exist. Of course they exist. We all know they exist, which is why, big part of the reason why Chris and I started this business, because we were investors. We wanted to invest in these awesome things called ICOs that were the hottest thing 18 months ago, but we didn't know where to start looking. So yeah, okay, we're not going to do an exit scam and then 24 hours later go, oh, but we're starting a ratings platform. You guys know what we're doing, okay? We'll market it in other ways. I didn't agree with that.
Yeah,
I think and I'm still not sure. There might be something there. I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I'm still not convinced.
But I mean, the whole industry is just ripe with scam and extortion and blackmail attempts, isn't it? I mean, like since the day. I mean, and this is one thing that their CEO did say that that can resonate with us is that the moment he started his ICO to the moment he ended his ICO, it was like scam after scam.
Yeah.
And it's been the same for us. I mean, since the moment we started advertising our ICO, we've been hit with scam attempt, blackmail attempt, like one after the other. And I mean, it actually accelerated after the ICO closed. Because you got these people who are professional traders, so on and so forth, and they're all disappointed that the token isn't boomed to the moon 5x or whatever
within 24 hours.
I mean. Let's put it into perspective. Yeah. In the normal world, in the non-crypto world, yeah, if you invested in Airbnb or Facebook or Spotify or whatever, you would have probably bought shares for like 40 cents. Like Spotify shares, you could have bought for 40 cents back in like 2011 or whatever when they launched.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those shares now today are over $100. How much liquidity do you think those original guys had? Very, 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 very little. There was no market to sell your Spotify shares on. It was like you had to invest and you had to hold and hope that the company does what they said they're going to do, and then have a huge payday when they have their IPO, if you even wanted to sell them, because I still think that company has upside. So, like to think that you're going to invest in an ICO and then like the next day, boom, you're going to make like 5x is a little bit immature, to be honest. I mean, I know it's happened like throughout the last year, but there's been a lot
almost every project in the last year, to be fair.
But that is not reality.
No.
That was like a short-term situation because the market was hot and because it was new and because there was a ton of people that had Ethereum that they got for very, very, very attractive prices in the owned Ethereum ICO back when Bitcoin was also very cheap when they launched that. And they're sitting on piles and they wanted to do something with it. So of course they dumped it into the first projects that launched on Ethereum. And yeah, they worked out, and the market has been booming. But the truth is that this is not the way things are going to be going forward. And if you look at most projects, they're struggling to hold their ICO price. And people argue, well, I'll just pick it up in the secondary market. But the issue there is there's no volume. I mean, I'm not just talking about Ignite. I'm talking about like literally a good majority of new ICOs don't have much volume. So even if you wanted to pick up a ton of shares in the secondary market cheaper, you'd be struggling to find like 15, 16x worth.
Yeah.
So
apart from the guys that's spending the money market making, so that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So anyway, that's just a few comments and interesting things we've been noticing. So hopefully you find it interesting.
Ciao.